Locksley Hall 60 years after Alfred Lord Tennyson late, my grandson. Half the morning have I paced these sandy tracks, watched ye again the hollow ridges roaring into cataracts, wandered ye back to living boyhood while I heard the curlew's call, I myself so close on death, and death itself in Locksley Hall. So your happy suit was blasted, she the faultless, the divine. And you like in boyish babble this boy love of yours with mine. I myself have often babbled doubtless of a foolish past. Babble, babble. Our old England may go down and babble at last. Curse him. Curse your fellow victim? Call him dotard in your age? Eyes that lord a doting boyhood, well my fool a dotard's age. Jilted for wealthier. Wealthier. Yet perhaps she was not wise? I remember how you kissed ye the miniature with those sweet eyes. In the hall there hangs a painting, Amy's arms about my neck, happy children in a sunbeam sitting on the ribs of wreck. In my life there was a picture, she that clasped thee my neck had flown. I was left within the shadow sitting on the wreck alone. Yours has been a slighter ailment, will you sicken for her sake? You, not you. Your modern Amoris is of easier, earthlier make. Amy loved me, Amy failed me, Amy was a timid child. But ere Judith, but ere worldling, she had never driven me wild. She that holds the diamond necklace dearer than the golden ring, she that finds a winter sunset fairer than a morn of spring. She that in her heart is brooding on his brief release of life, while she vows till death shall part us, she the would-be widow wife. She the worldling born of worldlings, father, mother be content, Eve and the homely farm can teach us there is something in descent. Yonder in that chapel, slowly sinking now into the ground, lies the warrior, my forefather, with his feet upon the hound. Crossed he. For once he sailed the sea to crush the Moslem in his pride. Dead the warrior, dead his glory, dead the cause in which he died. Yet how often I and Amy in the mouldering aisle have stood, gazing for one pensive moment on that founder of our blood. There again I stood today, and where of old we knelt in prayer, close beneath the casement crimson with the shield of Locksley there, all in white Italian marble, looking still as if she smiled, lies my Amy dead in childbirth, dead the mother, dead the child. Dead and 60 years ago, and dead her aged husband now. I this old white-headed dreamer still wept and kissed ye her marble brow. Gone the fires of youth, the follies, furies, curses, passionate tears, gone like fires and floods and earthquakes of the planet's dawning years. Fires that shook me once, but now to silent ashes fallen away. Cold upon the dead volcano sleeps the gleam of dying day. Gone the tyrant of my youth, and mute below the chancel stones, all his virtues I forgive them black and white above his bones. Gone the comrades of my bivouac, some in fight against the foe, some through age and slow diseases, gone as all on earth will go. Gone with whom for 40 years my life in golden sequence ran, she with all the charm of woman, she with all the breadth of man, strong in will and rich in wisdom, Edith, yet so lowly sweet, woman to her inmost heart, and woman to her tender feet, very woman, a very woman, nurse of ailing body and mind, she that linked thee again the broken chain that bound me to my kind. Here today was Amy with me, while I wandered thee down the coast, near us Edith's holy shadow, smiling at this lighter ghost. Gone our sailor son thy father, then are dearly lost at sea. Thou alone, my boy, of Amy's kin and mine art left to me. Gone thy tender-natured mother, wearying to be left alone, pining for the stronger heart that once had beat beside her own. Truth, for truth is truth, he worshipped, being true as he was brave. Good, for good is good, he followed thee, yet he looked thee beyond the grave, wiser there than you, that crowning baron death as lord of all, deemed this over-tragic drama as closing curtain as the pall. Beautiful was death in him, who saw the death, but kept the deck, saving women and their babes, and sinking with the sinking wreck, gone forever. Ever? No, for since our dying race began, ever, ever, and forever was the leading light of man. Those that in barbarian burials killed each slave, and slew the wife felt within themselves the sacred passion of the second life. Indian warriors dream of ampler hunting grounds beyond the night. Eve and the black Australian dying hopes he shall return, a white. Truth for truth, and good for good. The good, the true, the pure, the just take the charm forever from them, and they crumble into dust. Gone the cry of forward, forward, lost within a growing gloom. Lost, or only heard in silence from the silence of a tomb. Half the marvels of my morning, triumphs over time and space, stalled by frequence, shrunk by usage and to commonest commonplace. Forward rang the voices then, and of the many mine was one. Let us hush this cry of forward till 10,000 years have gone. Far among the vanished races, old Assyrian kings would flay captives whom they caught in battle, iron-hearted victors they. Ages after, while in Asia, he that led the wild Moguls, Timur built his ghastly tower of 80,000 human skulls, then, and here in Edward's time, an age of noblest English names, Christian conquerors took and flung the conquered Christian into flames. Love your enemy, bless your haters, said the greatest of the great. Christian love among the churches looked ye the twin of heathen hate. From the golden alms of blessing man had coined he himself a curse, Rome of Caesar, Rome of Peter, which was crueler? Which was worse? France had shown a light to all men, preached ye a gospel, all men as good. Celtic Demos rose a demon, shrieked ye and slaked the light with blood. Hope was ever on her mountain, watching till the day begun, crowned ye with sunlight over darkness from the still unrisen sun. Have we grown at last beyond the passions of the primal clan? Kill your enemy, for you hate him, still, your enemy was a man. Have we sunk below them? Peasants maim the helpless horse, and drive innocent cattle under thatch, and burn the kindlier brutes alive. Brutes, the brutes are not your wrongers burnt at midnight, found at morn, twisted hard in mortal agony with their offspring, born unborn, clinging to the silent mother. Are we devils? Are we men? Sweet Saint Francis of Assisi, would that he were here again, he that in his Catholic wholeness used to call the very flowers sisters, brothers, and the beasts whose pains are hardly less than ours. Chaos, cosmos. Cosmos, chaos. Who can tell how all will end? Read the wide world's annals, you, and take their wisdom for your friend. Hope the best, but hold the present fatal daughter of the past. Shape your heart to front the hour, but dream not that the hour will last. If dynamite and revolver leave you courage to be wise, when was age so crammed with menace? Madness. Written, spoken lies? Envy wears the mask of love, and, laughing sober fact to scorn, cries to weakest as to strongest, ye are equals, equal born. Equal born? Oh yes, if yonder hill be level with the flat. Charm us, order, till the lion look no larger than the cat, till the cat throw that mirage of overheated language loom larger than the lion, Demos end in working its own doom. Russia bursts our Indian barrier, shall we fight her? Shall we yield? Pause. Before you sound the trumpet, hear the voices from the field. Those 300 millions under one imperial scepter now, shall we hold them? Shall we lose them? Take the suffrage of the plow. Nay, but these would feel and follow a truth if only you and you, rivals of realm-ruining party, when you speak were wholly true. Plowmen, shepherds, have I found, and more than once, and still could find, sons of God, and kings of men in utter nobleness of mind, truthful, trustful, looking upward to the practiced hustings lyre. So the higher wields the lower, while the lower is the higher. Here and there a quarter-s babe is royal born by right divine. Here and there my lord is lower than his oxen or his swine. Chaos, cosmos. Cosmos, chaos. Once again a sickening game. Freedom, free to slay herself, and dying while they shout her name. Step by step we gained a freedom known to Europe, known to all. Step by step we rose to greatness, throw the tongue esters we may fall. You that woo the voices tell them old experience is a fool, teach your flattered kings that only those who cannot read can rule. Pluck the mighty from their seat, but set no meek ones in their place. Pillory wisdom in your markets, pelt your fall at her face. Tumble nature heel o'er head, and, yelling with a yelling street, set the feet above the brain and swear the brain is in the feet. Bring the old dark ages back without the faith, without the hope, break the state, the church, the throne, and roll their ruins down the slope. Author's essayist, Atheist, novelist, realist, rhymester, play your part, paint the mortal shame of nature with the living hues of art. Rip your brother's vices open, strip your own foul passions bare. Down with the reticence, down with the reverence, forward naked let them stare. Feed the budding rose of boyhood with the drainage of your sewer. Send the drain into the fountain, lest the stream should issue pure. Set the maiden fancies wallowing in the troughs of Zoliism, forward, forward, and backward, downward too into the abysm. Do your best to charm the worst, to lower the rising race of men. Have we risen from out the beast, then back into the beast again? Only dust to dust for me that sicken at your lawless din, dust and wholesome old world dust before the newer world begin. Heated am I? You wonder well, it scarce becomes mine age patience. Let the dying actor mouth his last upon the stage. Cries of unprogressive dotage ere the dotard fall asleep. Noises of a current narrowing, not the music of a deep? For doubtless I am old, and think grey thoughts, for I am grey. After all the stormy changes shall we find a changeless May? After madness, after massacre, Jacobinism and Jackery, some diviner force to guide us through the days I shall not see? When the schemes and all the systems, kingdoms and republics fall, something kindlier, higher, holier all for each and each for all. All the full brain, half-brain races, led by justice, love, and truth. All the millions one at length with all the visions of my youth. All diseases quenched by science, no man halt, or deaf or blind. Stronger ever born of weaker, lustier body, larger mind. Earth at last a warless world, a single race, a single tongue. I have seen her far away, for is not earth as yet so young? Every tiger madness muzzled, every serpent passion killed, every grim ravine a garden, every blazing desert tilled, robed in universal harvest. Up to either pole she smiles, universal ocean softly washing all her warless isles. Warless? When her tens are thousands, and her thousands millions, then all her harvest all too narrow. Who can fancy warless men? Warless? War will die out late then. Will it ever? Late or soon? Can it, till this outworn earth be dead as yon dead world the moon? Dead the new astronomy calls her. On this day and at this hour, in this gap between the Zindils, whence you see the Locksley Tower, here we met, our latest meeting. Amy, 60 years ago she and I. The moon was falling greenish through a rosy glow, just above the gateway tower, and even where you see her now, here we stood and clasped each other, swore the seeming deathless vow. Dead, but how her living glory lights the hall, the dune, the grass. Yet the moonlight is the sunlight, and the sun himself will pass. Venus near her, smiling downward at this earthlier earth of ours, closer on the sun, perhaps a world of never-fading flowers. Hesper, whom the poet called the bringer home of all good things. All good things may move in Hesper, perfect peoples, perfect kings. Hesper Venus, were we native to that splendor, or in Mars, we should see the globe we grown in, fairest of their evening stars. Could we dream of wars and carnage, craft and madness, lust and spite, roaring London, raving Paris, in that point of peaceful light? Might we not, in glancing heavenward on a star so silver fair, yearn, and clasp the hands and murmur, would to God that we were there? Forward, backward, backward, forward, in the immeasurable sea, swayed deep by vista ebbs and flows than can be known to you or me. All the suns are these but symbols of innumerable man or mind that sees a shadow of the planner or the plan? Is there evil but on earth? Or pain in every peopled sphere? Well, be grateful for the sounding watchword evolution here, evolution ever climbing after some ideal good, and reversion ever dragging evolution in the mud. What are men that he should heed us? Cried the king of sacred song. Insects of an hour, that hourly work their brother insect wrong, while the silent heavens roll, and suns along their fiery way, all their planets whirling round them, flash 1,000,000 miles a day. Many an eon molded earth before her highest, man, was born, many an eon too may pass when earth is manless and forlorn, earth so huge, and yet so bounded pools of salt, and plots of land shallow skin of green and azure chains of mountain, grains of sand. Only that which made us, men us to be mightier by and by, set the sphere of all the boundless heavens within the human eye, sent the shadow of himself, the boundless, through the human soul. Boundless inward, in the atom, boundless outward, in the whole. Group of dashes. Here is Locksley Hall, my grandson, here the lion-guarded gate. Not tonight in Locksley Hall, tomorrow you come so late. Wrecked your train, or all but wrecked. A shattered wheel? A vicious boy. Good, this forward, you that preach it, is it well to wish you joy? Is it well that while we range with science, glorying in the time, city children soak and blacken soul and sense and city slime? There among the glooming alleys progress halts on pow-side feet, crime and hunger cast our maidens by the thousand on the street. There the master scrimps his haggard sempstress of her daily bread, there a single sordid attic holds the living and the dead. There the smoldering fire of fever creeps across the rotted floor, and the crowded couch of incest in the warrens of the poor. Nay, your pardon, cry your forward, yours are hope and youth, but 80 winters leave the dog too lame to follow with the cry, lame and old, and past his time, and passing now into the night. Yet I would the rising race were half as eager for the light. Light the fading gleam of even? Light the glimmer of the dawn? Aged eyes may take the growing glimmer for the gleam withdrawn. Far away beyond her myriad coming changes earth will be something other than the wildest modern guess of you and me. Earth may reach her earthly worst, or if she gain her earthly best, would she find her human offspring this ideal man at rest? Forward then, but still remember how the course of time will swerve, crook and turn upon itself in many a backward streaming curve. Not the hall tonight, my grandson. Death and silence hold their own. Leave the master in the first dark hour of his last sleep alone. Worthier soul was he than I am, sound and honest, rustic squire, kindly landlord, boon companion. Youthful jealousy is a liar. Cast the poison from your bosom, else the madness from your brain. Let the trampled serpent show you that you have not lived in vain. Youthful. Youth and age are scholars yet but in the lower school, nor is he the wisest man who never proved himself a fool. Yonder lies our young sea village. Art and grace are less and less, science grows and beauty dwindles, roofs of slated hideousness. There's one old hostel left us where they swing the Locksley shield, till the peasant cow shall but the lion passant from his field. Poor old heraldry, poor old history, poor old poetry, passing hence, in the common deluge drowning old political common sense. Poor old voice of 80 crying after voices that have fled. All I loved are vanished voices, all my steps are on the dead. All the world is ghost to me, and as the phantom disappears, forward far and far from here is all the hope of 80 years. Group of dashes. In this hostel I remember I repented o'er his grave like a clown. By chance he met me, I refused the hand he gave. From that casement where the trailer mantles all the mouldering bricks, I was then in early boyhood, Edith but a child of 6, while I sheltered in this archway from a day of driving showers, peeped the winsome face of Edith like a flower among the flowers. Here tonight. The hall tomorrow, when they toll the chapel bell. Shall I hear in one dark room a wailing, I have loved thee well. Then a peal that shakes the portal, one has come to claim his bride, her that shrank, and put me from her, shrieked D, and started from my side silent echoes. You, my Leonard, use and not abuse your day, move among your people, know them, follow him who led the way, strove for 60 widowed years to help his homilier brother men, served the poor, and built the cottage, raised the school, and drained the fen. Hears he now the voice that wronged him? Who shall swear it cannot be? Earth would never touch her worst, were 1 in 50 such as he. Ere she gain her heavenly best, a god must mingle with the game. Nay, there may be those about us whom we neither see nor name, felt within us as ourselves, the powers of good, the powers of ill, strowing balm, or shedding poison in the fountains of the will. Follow the star that lights a desert pathway, yours or mine. Forward, till you see the highest human nature is divine. Follow light, and do the right, for man can half control his doom till you find the deathless angel seated in the vacant tomb. Forward, let the stormy moment fly and mingle with the past. I that loathed, have come to love him. Love will conquer at the last. Gone at 80, mine own age, and I and you will bear the pall. Then I'll leave thee, lord and master, latest lord of Locksley Hall.